Happy Friday, everyone.
Hey guys.
Oh wow.
What's up?
What is that?
That is
Ah.
Whoa, it's George.
Hi guys.
What's
up,
up, man?
Where is everybody? What? They knew I was coming? What? That's it? No one. Oh my gosh. This is just the All-Stars, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, Bob will be joining us any second.
Yeah, he always says that.
Evan is doing other people's taxes.
That's right.
Getting too close to April 15th.
Is that a euphemism or is that the actual what he's doing?
Actually what he's
doing other people's taxes, if you know what I mean.
So tonight is going to be a fun live stream because we have many things happening. We have a guest other than George.
Oh.
What? My contract explicitly says I am the only
guy. Then we're going to have George is going to do something fun. We're going to actually have a little game. We're going to play a game that George
just
created.
this. I'm going to do this for 45 minutes.
Watch that.
Nope. I think Bob just joined us. Here we go.
There he goes.
Where is he? There he is.
Boy.
Hey, Bob.
Roberto.
What's up, brother?
Perfect timing while you're chewing on something.
Hello, other brothers.
Right over there.
Yeah, he's about to sip coffee too.
So why don't we get this out of the way, George? People are already asking about whether or not you have any relatives in Ukraine.
I do not have any direct relatives. All of my family got out after World War II. My parents met here. All of their cousins, all of their parents, they were all here. So I have no direct family over there. People have been incredibly supportive in writing me and email and texting and saying, are you okay? It's been, I am fine. There are people that need much more emotional and support than I do. I am heartbroken. I vacillate between being unbelievably proud of what I'm seeing and being absolutely emotionally a wreck. I sit here often within the same tweet stream of seeing some heroic kind of, 70-year-old Baba, staring down some Russian a-holes, and then getting my heart broken by seeing apartment buildings destroyed or set on fire or whatever. And it's like, so I don't have any family directly there, but it's been something. It's been something.
Well, you don't have to have family there to feel what's going on. And you have the cultural genetic connection. You can understand the words that people are saying when they're saying
that's
the horrible thing.
That's what's been so interesting is because, like in my life, we've watched news from around the world and there's always horrible news from somewhere. You always see horrible news from all over the world. And this, because not only do I see the 70-year-old grandma yelling at the soldiers, but I understand what she's saying. It's or the child or the father saying goodbye to his kids. You know, you understand what they're saying because the language comes across, and it just affects me on an entirely different sort of level. And yeah, it's a bear, man. It's a
George.
bear.
So when the president of Ukraine talks, you can understand him, right?
Yeah.
So what because I don't speak the language, I can't get a vibe. Like, what does he feel like when you know the language? Like, what kind of guy is he?
He comes across as a very straightforward kind of no shit guy.
Yeah, straight shooter.
It's just this. We're here. We're in the bunker. We're doing this. We're going to stay here as long as we need to. And we're gonna do this. People are saying I'm dead. I'm not dead. Obviously, I'm right here in front of you. And that's kind of his timbre and his tone. And it's just like, this is a no shit guy. Maybe it's an act. Maybe it's politicians, whatever. But this is he's a comic. He's an actor, and he's just done incredibly, incredibly well. I mean, he's just so impressive. It's the equivalent of Jon Stewart on some level. Like he played a comic on a TV show that becomes president of Ukraine.
Yeah, right. That's so
it's insane. And that he's now one of the greatest leaders in the world at this present moment. It's really impressive. Yeah, he seems like a serious. It doesn't feel very politician kind of speak. Again, I catch about 85% of what he's saying, just because there are some local language things that the Ukrainian that I know is like 60 years old, because that's kind of the Yuki that I was taught, and it's changed over. It depends where you are in Ukraine too. If you're in the West, it's a little bit different. It's more Polish than if you're in the East. So I'm getting about 85% of what he's saying, and it's just awesome. His address to the UN was astounding. His whole thing this morning or yesterday about the nuclear. The nuclear plant being hit, where he's saying like they're attacking a nuclear plant. Like, tell your leaders enough. It's cool. It's impressive and heartbreaking at the same time.
He knows the role that he's playing.
He does,
and he's doing it well.
Did you guys see the number of people that were protesting in Russia yesterday?
Yeah,
that's badass too, man. Because those people can end up in prison.
They are going to end up in
poisoned,
prison.
whatever.
Carried away.
That is badass, man. Again, there's so much of the normal. I mean, so many of the soldiers too are realizing that they've been completely lied to as to what their purpose is, and like the Ukes are kind of realizing that if they can get one-on-one with these soldiers and just be like, we're not Nazis, like, you're being lied to. There's no humanitarian emergency here apart from what you guys are instilling.
Doing. Yeah, you're the humanitarian crisis.
You're the humanitarian crisis. A lot of them are going like, what? I just, I'm conscripted. I don't even know what's going on,
Yeah.
I'm also hearing some things that just seem like it doesn't make sense to me, but I guess it's true, where, they're talking to the soldiers, and sometimes the soldiers are basically just saying, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And, I find that hard to believe, because I would think that they would be scared to abandon their post. What would you call that? When you stop doing what
AWOL.
Going AWOL. I mean, there's a lot of like things like you're hearing stories like they're letting them talk to their family on the phones, and then they were saying, I read something today that again seemed very unlikely, but I don't know, that they were literally telling Russian mothers that they can come pick up their sons or something.
Right. Yeah,
it doesn't seem real. Like, this is not what happens in a war.
Well, I think that is the one benefit of this instantaneous communication that we have, where you can literally grab your phone and not just call or text, or you can FaceTime with a soldier's mom and say, he's here. He doesn't want to kill civilians. Your son doesn't want to kill civilians, and the son or the soldier or the daughter that are in the army. It's like, you put yourself in that situation. Yeah, these guys are trained, and they're trained to kill and just follow orders blankly. But when you're face to face with a civilian, it's like hard to justify. And there's got to be some point of that's why this is unsustainable. I don't understand the plan that Putin's doing. I just don't understand it.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear he was expecting Ukraine to collapse,
capitulate completely.
It didn't. He doesn't really have a plan B. He's sort of retrenching, but he has the numbers, he has the weapons. If he wants to grind Ukraine down, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless there's a curveball, like a coup or something crazy happens.
Yeah.
but there's no real pathway out of this that's not through a trail of destruction. And the question is, what's Putin going to do when he's losing?
Right.
Because he's never lost.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of crazy speculation going on, but there's
What about Iraq? Was he involved? I guess he wasn't involved with the Russia Iraq invasion.
No, he just let us dig our own grave there. But
no, they invaded. They invaded Iraq and then pulled out. Nobody, right?
Afghanistan.
Russia
You're
did.
talking about Afghanistan?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, that was not Putin.
Yeah, who was?
We're talking about Russia.
That?
We're talking about Putin.
Russia.
Yeah, that was the Soviet Union.
Yeah,
in the 80s.
Right. No, he went into Georgia. He accomplished his goal there. Syria, he accomplished his goal
Crimea.
there.
He
accomplished his goal there.
A fifth of Ukraine already.
Yeah.
Are
So
any
now
of
he
you
thinks
guys?
he's going to take Ukraine, and he thought the alliance would collapse, Ukraine would collapse. It's not happening, but we're not there yet. I mean, we still are allowing him to sell oil, and that's going to be one big question. At some point, are we going to shut off the oil and deal with the consequences ourselves? Until we do that, we're not really 100% serious about.
Polls are saying Americans are ready for that. Polls are saying Americans would support that, which is astonishing.
Maybe that's what they needed to get people ready for it before they pulled the plug. Because when that happened, to say you're willing to pay $1 more for gas because that's what it's going to take, and that's our pain to support the Ukrainians' pain.
Let's do it.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I would donate. I would donate money if I felt like I could trust the chain that it would get to Ukraine. I just don't like donating blindly.
As much as this goes against everything we've been saying for the last 10 years, it also means that America is going to have to increase our oil and gas output,
right?
At least in the short term. But the hope is that we would tie it to real plans to decrease dependence on oil and gas.
Apparently, there's something like 9,000 licenses for oil drilling in the U.S. that haven't been have been approved.
Yeah, but not used.
So it's like you don't need new resources. Like if the oil companies would just kind of invest and do the stuff that they've already got permission for. That I mean, it would take a year or whatever, or some. It wouldn't be instantaneous, but that was surprising. I read that and I'm like, why aren't they taking advantage of that? Like, it's weird. They're talking about pipelines and stuff. You don't even need that. There's thousands of sites
because they're regulating the price of gas, right? If they start overproducing, then gas, they want to sell each gallon in the ground for as much as they can. So titrating how quickly they produce it is part of the plan. But if the good thing is that we have so much capacity in reserve that we could ramp up our production pretty quickly and minimize the impact on the global market of gas from essentially not shutting, Putin off from selling gas to the West. So, but still, so let's say we do that. Let's say, the Russian economy is on the brink of collapse. I don't think, again, there's debate about how bad it will get because he still has China. He still has, Iran and other countries he can sell to. Ukrainians are going to dig in. They're going to lose, they're going to lose a lot of territory. They're going to lose a lot of infrastructure. If Russia wants to beat them down, they can do it. But if they remain defiant and, they turn into an insurgency, et cetera, at what point is Putin going to give?
Someone will take him out.
One outcome is that
talk to me, George. Make me feel better.
The oligarchs will say this guy's taking us down with them, and we got to put it into it.
That's how the culture functions on some level. It's so sort of corrupt and it's so insidious over there that it's not like that's off the table. It's not like a presidential assassination in the U.S. is like a huge deal. Over there, there's so much of that. I mean, this is a guy. Putin himself put polonium into someone's sushi. This is day-to-day kind of stuff for them. So for some guy whose bottom line, some oligarch whose yacht is being sunk in Spain, he's going to be like, I don't care about politics anymore. Now you're hitting my bottom line. Let's take care of this guy. Or he's going to have some sudden illness, or he's going to just all of a sudden be like, he was just here. We don't know where he went.
We don't know where he went.
He's at his dacha, he's at his summer home, and there's going to be I see that as a distinct possibility.
I hate feeling like I hate pondering this idea and wanting someone like him to get killed, right? It's a horrible situation, but like that seems to be the easiest and best remedy for this problem. I don't know.
Sometimes there's blowback. Sometimes there's an unexpected thing that happens. One guy gets eliminated. It creates a power vacuum. Someone else can take over. But this guy, he is a de facto czar.
Yeah.
He is a for life.
He's a dictator.
De facto dictator czar. So there's just nothing good is going to come. He's not going to turn around and be like, oh crap, you know what?
Scusi, Millie regretti.
Yeah, it's not going to
just not going to happen. It's just not going to. So it's like, what do you do? Like, how much can you give him? Because any sort of agreements that you come to, he's going to see as being like, oh, well, I could get a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
And of course, the big question is what's going to happen when Putin has the choice of losing or dropping a nuke on Kyiv.
Yeah, right. That's the other part. And then what do we do? And then
what do we do? Exactly. We can't let that stand. But what do we do?
Well, what do you do? Do you nuke Moscow? Like what's that? Like you can't.
No, you
can't. Right. You can't start a nuclear.
At that point, we would have to cut Russia off completely, 100%. Like everything and anything that we could possibly do would have to end immediately. Right, but I mean, we can't get involved in an escalation.
Would that get China on board? I don't know. But
what would it take to get them?
China is paying close attention because this is impacting their stance towards Taiwan, right?
Right.
Because Taiwan is to China what Ukraine is to Russia, and so part of the reason why we have to stand tall and stand behind Ukraine is because we need to signal to China this is what's going to happen if you try to do the same thing to Taiwan. Right. Yeah. It's just that's all that's standing between, China and Taiwan is worldwide outrage if they try to do something terrible.
That's the only thing stopping them. You think at this point?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Taiwan has it's again the power differential is like with Ukraine and Russia. Though the Taiwanese will fight hard, and they're an island, so logistically it's a little bit different. But if China wants to destroy Taiwan, they can, right? Just like if Russia wants to destroy Ukraine, they can, without other countries becoming involved militarily, which is not going to happen. We're not going to put boots on the ground in Ukraine. We're not going to put boots on the ground in Taiwan. But we'll do the sanctions thing and the outrage and whatever. And
there is a slight economic difference between our relationship with Russia and our relationship with China. China, we are China's number one customer. Mm-hmm. So they realize that. So that adds a certain kind of curve to the whole proceedings. That they realize that if we do potentially to China, that's like, I mean, there's all those default loans as well, and all the money we've borrowed from China, but then all the goods that we buy from China, and then so it's such a delicate, weird dance.
It's very weird. The whole Taiwan thing is very weird.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring on our guest.
Yes,
it's 5:18.
So this person,
everybody, this is Newt. So Newt is
Newt.
That's you. And Newt was on the show. We couldn't figure it out. 6-8 months ago, he came on
something
the show.
Like that. 8:38.
It was in August.
Back in August.
Oh, okay, it wasn't that long ago. Wow, my time sense. As I get older, man,
that is no 8 months ago, Jay.
Yeah. What?
That is 8 months ago.
Don't even. Let's just move on to the next topic.
November,
so,
December, January, February.
When I did an article about the 5G affecting airplane equipment, and then we did a correction on that, and then about a week after that, Newt emailed me and said, I'm a pilot. Let me tell you exactly what's going on here. And it was a very lengthy email, but Newt, gave me the actual real data. So why don't you quickly just tell us real quick, like what is happening with 5G and altimeters and airplanes and in airports?
Okay.
And could you do it in a captain voice the whole time? Just do the
I wish I could. I didn't wear.
Looks like we've got about.
Wow, I'm big. I did not wear the headset for the podcast, so I don't know if I still sound like a pilot like I did back then. But just the genesis of all this thing, it's been going on for about 2 years. I mean, back in according to the FAA, March of 2020 is when it started. When they asked if they could have some of the C-band for the wireless broadband capabilities of 5G. Which is, as you know, from 3.7 to 3.98 gigahertz. However, they said, sure, how about the lowest 100, 3.7 to 3.8, because 5G on aircraft is pretty darn close at 4.2 to 4.4. So on the high end, that's 220 megahertz away, which sounds like a lot. But I guess the FAA did some research over the last couple of years, as well as the airlines did, saying that that's a bit too close for comfort. So, but for some reason, it took 2 years of going back and forth. Finally, it was AT&T and Verizon said, we can't wait anymore. We have to launch 5G. We've been promising everybody forever. We've been putting little 5G-Es on their phone, but we're ready to hit the go button. It's already been going on in Europe. They were going to do it December 5th, and they pushed it to January 5th. And then everybody, as you know, started going crazy. It's about the time it was on your podcast. They pushed it to January 19th. And then they've pushed it now an additional 6 months at the 50 biggest airports that would experience a problem with this. So what's that problem? And we've known about it for 2 years. Why is it just now on the surface in everyone's opinion? It has to not do with the...
Newt, hold on one sec. Can we unfreeze Newt? I don't know what's going on. If he's...
I'm frozen?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
He's not
anymore.
frozen
No,
for
but
me.
the audience-
It's a bandwidth thing.
Oh, okay.
The audience
Yeah.
is not seeing
It
that.
is.
That's
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We,
Thank you.
All
we
right,
see
yeah.
each other in a
Pretty
lower
bandwidth.
resolution than the audience sees.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No. I hate to be talking for no reason.
Can hear you though.
Okay, good. Well, that's all that matters. So what caught me off on what Jay was commenting on the first podcast, and he corrected himself, and it still wasn't exactly right, was the altimeter of an aircraft. And as you know, most airplanes use barometric pressure for the majority of the flight to figure out how high they are, and we back things up with GPS. As you know, if you've ever turned on your phone, perhaps your GPS receiver will tell you about how high you are based on where the satellite thinks you are in relationship to the ground. But as you get closer to the ground, we use something called a radio altimeter, also known as a radar altimeter, and it does exactly what you think. It sends radio frequencies straight south, bounce off the ground and water to tell you how high you are from the ground. And it uses that frequency range I mentioned, 4.2 to 4.4 gigahertz. So what they're worried about is when they turn on all the 5G antennas, is that it might have a little rogue frequency wave that hits a radio altimeter on an aircraft and causes it to do something wonky. Now, I'm here to tell you, don't worry about it. It's not going to make the plane flip upside down and kill everybody on board. What's most likely going to happen is that it would show, say you think you're at 100 feet and somebody makes a phone call to grandma and it says that you're at 110 feet. Maybe it's no big deal, but to an aircraft, it's super precise, especially in low weather conditions where it's trying to land on maybe an auto land situation. It needs to know exactly the altitude at any given point. From about 2,500 feet is when that thing, and pretty much all aircraft, every aircraft I've flown, radio altimeter kicks on at 2,500 feet above the ground, all the way down. And I've flown aircraft, I flew 737, 747, 57, 67, they have auto land capability. So the aircraft needs to know all the way down to 0 feet based on that radio altimeter's readouts, when to flare, when to pull back power. But from 2,500 all the way down to 0, a bunch of things need to happen. Like they'll split buses or 3 independent electrical systems against 3 different autopilots to make sure that if one of them gets a bad electron, it doesn't take out all 3. So at, say, 200 feet, it'll split all 3. A number of things like that will happen all the way down final to the end. So what the FAA is super concerned with, and I got their quote, so I didn't mess it up. They said, because radio altimeter anomalies that are undetected by the aircraft automation or the pilot, particularly close to the ground, i.e. what I just said, landing, flare, auto land situations, could lead to a loss of continued safe flight and landing. And when they said those words, I mean, that's a stop. I mean, flying is...
Safe landing sounds like a big deal.
Yeah, and when you say the word safe landing, fly, any of those things in a sentence, I mean, there's no do-over when you crash. But here's the thing that maybe people don't think about. Really, I mean, I'm not going to use the auto land situation unless I have to. And when I have to is really bad weather. And if you saw in January, that's when really bad weather happens, especially up in the Northeast where we all are. And if you're in a situation where people are going into an unknown environment of 5G where they think maybe I'm going to get a radio altimeter that says I'm off a bit, that doesn't split my buses and then turns off my HUD or makes my auto land think it's time to flare and I'm still at 50 feet above the ground. It's the pilot, they're going to click off everything and go around. So throttle up, flaps up, take off. And what New York Center is not ready for is 100 767s suddenly going around at a JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, Teterboro, all at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that was the bigger concern because, for one, that's just crazy unsafe when you got a bunch of aircraft suddenly on a part of the flight path they weren't expected. I mean, we planned for it. They cleared the airspace. But honestly, when you have that many aircraft flying, no one's ready for everybody to go around. And the other piece of that puzzle is the airlines, especially. They don't want to pay for that gas, and that's an extra 1,000 to 3,000 pounds for another approach. So if 100 aircraft do that a day, that's significant money.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So Newt, can you so just to explain to the audience, there's two ways to refer to like flying the plane. You could do instrument, IFR or VFR. So it's visual or that. By instrument. So you as a pilot, you could land a plane. If they painted black on the windshield of the airplane, you could still fly that plane with just instrumentation, right? Tell us about that.
You could. So there's two different rules for flying: IFR, instrument flight rules, and VFR, visual flight rules, and those need different weather conditions. IMC and VMC, instrument meteorological conditions and visual meteorological conditions. So you need one to do the other. However, we fly instruments to the max extent possible. There's no aircraft that doesn't have a regulation that doesn't say fly instruments to the max extent possible, because it is, like you said, just in case a bird were to take out my windscreen and it's all black or something, I can still see where I'm going because I'm already in that mode. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The big difference is that once you do the instrument flight path, you're restricted to that instrumentation. So right now, the FAA has released a series of NOTAMs. Until a month ago, that meant notice to airmen. Now it's notice to air mission. And you can think, for obvious reasons, more inclusivity. The one that's out right now for everybody says that you can't do certain approaches if you're at one of those fields that they haven't exempted from the 5G interference, because it might mess with the instrument, the things you need to fly that instrument approach. So like if I'm flying into Dulles the other day and I'm lined up on the ILS, instrument landing system, but they're going to clear me the visual. They're going to say, yeah, clear visual at one center, because then that just removes all that other stuff. I can still fly on the instruments and make sure that I'm accurate and I know I'm good. But if I lose everything, I'm flying visual. I'm visual with the runway and I'm doing what you talked about, a visual flight rules and a visual meteorological condition. And so it's a balance the whole way down. The pilot's doing both.
So do you get a sense when you're flying, you've mentioned that you fly many different planes. And I know that there's some differences between the instrumentation and, there's probably quite a bit. But do you have a sense, like when you're driving a car, like how far like the wheels are to the ground? Like, do you feel the size of the plane when you're flying it? So okay, I'm gonna touch the ground now in about 5 seconds. My wheels will be on the ground. So you can do that.
Yeah, you can. You sense it. You know exactly how far you are away. And I mean, we practice these things so much. I've flown all the way down from a tiny little T-37, which is where your butt is about a foot off the ground when you land, to I flew 747s where you're landing a 4-story apartment building. And the first time you land sitting 43 feet up from the ground, it's mind blowing. But you use those instruments. I use that radio altimeter because when you're that far away, you definitely need something to tell you, hey, I'm 50 feet from the ground. That's when I need to do something with my power. And then I'm 30 feet from the ground. Now I need to flare because, I've got that seat of the pants feel and I've got this huge peripheral vision and I can see everything around me, but you still need that stuff to be able to figure out exactly how to land. And over time, you just learn. I've got 8,000 hours in tons of different aircraft. So I joke with people is like, you can put controls on a dishwasher and I can manipulate the thing to fly, but it's all this other stuff that I'm talking about, all the instrumentation to get me down to that landing situation safely.
What's flare mean? What does that mean?
So it's when you come down to land, you're pointed nose down kind of, or you're flat and you're pancaking down. And at the end, you want to raise the nose up slightly so that the mains touch first, and then you lower the nose. That act of raising the nose wheel higher so that the mains touch first, that's a flare.
Cool.
Newt, isn't there also an air thing that happens when you do that? There's like an air pressure thing as the plane's coming down, and doesn't that help the plane?
Yep. So ground effect is what
Right.
they talk about, and it does help it. And if you remember, you've seen the little fins on the 737 is what made them real popular. And then they started making the shark fin, where they added another deal. Now, what those guys do is they disrupt wingtips vortices, because there's a whole lot of air doing a lot of fun stuff underneath the wings, and that and you want it to do that, because that ground effect
gives you lift.
It's sort of like a cushion of air that you land on, and you poof. And as long as there's not little those curlicues going off the end of the wings to remove it from you, it's a nice pillow to land on, and you can float down on that for a nicer soft landing. If you've noticed, you probably come in on final approach to an airfield, it's just rocking and rolling all the way down, and all of a sudden it just flare, coast, land. And those winds didn't change, but that ground effect kind of removed their effect from underside of the wing.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I read something about that, but I have confirmed it now. Thank you.
Roger J, we're good for air cushion flare there.
So Newt, tell us all. We all want to know, like, why do pilots talk the way that they talk? What is going on in that cockpit that we
What do
don't
you
know
mean, Jay?
about?
What are you talking about?
Well, the goal is to be
Is it to
I
remain
mentioned it in
calm?
the podcast, calm, cool, collected. They always joke when there's an emergency in flight. First thing to do: hack the clock, hack it again, do whatever you got to do so that you sound cool on the radios, because everyone's going to be listening to it later.
Yeah.
So if you practice that all the time, you'll always sound cool on the radios. But I mean, I go to liveatc.com and listen to things. You don't want to sound like a goofball. But just in general, because you want to be clear, concise, you have a script. I mean, think of the people English is the international language of aviation. You know, it was almost French. But so the Japanese, the French, the Germans, they're taught to say certain words in English. I mean, their English is excellent, but there's some complex words out there in aviation speak. So I know that someone else is listening to me as well. I need to make sure that I'm using the exact script, what they expect to hear. There's no jargon. And I think that's where people think that pilots all sound the same. It's because we're all saying the same thing. Like when I say a number, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9er.
Right.
So it's not distracting. And of course, phonetically, alpha, beta, Charlie, delta, gamma, the whole alphabet. We're going to say those things the way that you expect. So I'm not going to say N, F, X, Q. Because it might get confused, but if I say those words, it's everyone's going to understand it.
All right, that totally answers the question. That's awesome.
That makes sense pretty much for what I need to learn about the information of how pilots are gonna talk for the rest of the flight there. Appreciate it very much.
That does remind me of, because there's protocols in medicine as well. So like if you're in the waiting room and your family member's in surgery, the surgeon walks in the room.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, there's like so they'll get like, I remember when my father had surgery, the surgeon of course I knew what was going on, but he walks in the room like this. Like there is zero doubt that everything is 100% good.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Because there can't be a second where you see a look on their face that's even neutral or anything. There's got to be zero room for misinterpretations. Like everything went awesome. Yeah. Everything is good. Like as he's walking into the waiting room,
So walking in and doing this would be bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
God. Well, you guys remember the whole Alex Jones, the Newtown Sandy Hook thing, where that father was being interviewed on the news. And he's walking onto whatever the camera into the views of the camera, the little stage where he was giving the interview, and he was smiling for like a half a second as he approached. And of course, the conspiracy theorists interpreted that as he's an actor and he just hadn't gotten into character yet.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, because they're going to hire all these people to lie about kids being killed, and the president's going to be in on it. And All right, so we're going to slide into something we have not done on the live stream before. So we need to record something for tomorrow's podcast that'll help promote 4 shows that we have coming up. And so George and I cooked up the idea that we would play a game right now on the live stream that we will then insert that audio into the podcast as kind of like a preview / commercial of the shows that we have coming up. So you're actually getting a 5-minute preview of something that'll be on the podcast tomorrow. So Ian, we're recording. We're ready to go.
Yep.
So George, take it like you're starting a segment, right? Because this will be a segment on the show.
So should we like promote kind of thing, or like what? How should we jump into this?
I mean, I think we should talk about the 4 shows that we have coming up, and then then we'll say then you're going to say we're going to play a game right now that is kind of like what you'll see if you come to the extravaganza.
So what if I interrupt the show like sort of for a second, just kind of butt in?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Should we toggle off Newt just because if we want to grab the video? And Newt, you can maybe connect your phone if your laptop's
I'll do that.
fine.
Switch devices. Yeah,
Okay.
battery's about to die.
Yeah, his laptop was about to die. So we'll toggle you off just for a second.
We're gonna ask Newt to go ahead and toggle off for.
We didn't have to have go. I mean, it's like
No,
if we have.
we can bring him back on. His laptop was about to die, I think, so he was going to try.
Oh, he has to switch it. Yeah, he has to switch his device.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you
Steve,
want.
do you want Newt to play the game with us?
Sure.
I think it's
What
totally
game?
fine if he does it, right? There's no reason not to.
Sure.
All right, let him switch his device and then we'll do it.
What game? What are we talking about?
George
We
came up with
didn't
a
even
game
tell Bob.
that
Huh?
we're gonna play. We're gonna play a game, Bob. It's a game. Just relax. You're gonna have fun. Trust me.
Yeah.
What are the rules of this game?
Loop
I will explain them in a second.
me.
What? Bob.
Steve. So Newt's gonna play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If you have.
Is that gonna
Ability
is
for
that gonna track in the show? We'll be all right.
It'll be fine.
Okay. He'll just magically appear.
Well, we'll do, we could say that we're recording this at the live stream on Friday. Blah blah blah. We'll we
Oh, okay.
Double promotion.
because Steve can intro the whole thing, right? Steve, do you want to intro it?
Sure.
Or George, did you think you want to butt in? Because
Well, I was
it's
gonna
fun?
say let me just magically like insert myself. Be like, oh hey guys, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. I
We're
got it. So-
recording a show. Oh, let's talk about our thing. I got like 2 minutes. Let me talk about the thing.
okay, that's fun.
But
I like that.
and I could we could have Newt be involved too.
You can just say I have my friend here, Newt's going to join us.
Yeah.
too. That's all.
All right, that's perfect.
Yeah, but Jay, I didn't prepare anything.
You didn't have to do anything, Bob. You're good. This is one of those moments where I'm encouraging you to take a really annoying sip of coffee. Go right ahead. Oh, I know what I could do.
Don't have any.
Here is my starter.
What is that? Oh my
What's
What's
god!
that?
that, dude?
Should we be seeing that?
All right, we got Newt back.
Yeah, you store it?
All right, back.
Yes, folks. This is
my
not.
starter. So this is what I will take a portion of this and put it into any bread recipe that I make.
Ew. I'm never having your bread.
That's your secret sauce, then.
Yeah, no, but what
It's-
the reason why people use starters is I have a natural yeast that is fermenting in here
Yeah, he does.
that is found.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Is it protein based?
So basically,
At
there's
this point, Jay, say what is in that bottle right now. Just say
Is
what's
this the
in it.
promotion for the extravaganza?
Yeah.
This
Tickets
is
are going right now. I can feel it.
something called a starter. Okay, this is flour and water and wild yeast that is found in the flour. When you get flour from the store,
Good.
there's yeast in there that's just that's dried out and inactive, and when you
should've
add
led
water
with
to
that.
it, it becomes active. This yeast tastes better than the yeast that you buy in a package, right? It's a different yeast. This yeast happens to taste better. And what's happening is I feed this once a day. I put flour and water in here. I throw some of it away. I put flour and water in here every day, twice a day. And what's happening is I have built a yeast colony in here. That's the starter. And it adds incredible flavor to bread. Like that yeast, that particular yeast and the chemicals and the gases that they release make bread taste good. So this is what, if you're baking bread, you probably have a starter or at least know about one. So that's mine, and I'm very proud of it. And I have not named my starter yet because I want to make sure, I want to keep something alive for a few weeks before I name it. Okay, guys, we're going to do our game segment now. So how do you want to start?
All right. So Newt, I'm going to pretend that you and I were chatting, and we're going to interrupt the podcast now. Okay. and we'll take it from
All
there.
right.
And this is going to be amazing, and everyone's going to buy it totally 100%. Ready? Here we go. Hey guys, it's George here. Listen, I know I'm interrupting the show, but Newt and I were having a conversation. You remember Newt? Hey, Newt, say hi, Newt.
Hey, everybody, remember me?
Remember Newt the
August?
pilot?
Hey, Newt. Hey,
8
George.
months ago.
So Newt and I were talking about, like pilot stuff and about voices and about, like 5G and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And then I mentioned casually to Newt that we have these 2 extravaganzas coming up, and Newt didn't realize that we had extravaganzas coming up. And I was like, well, of course we have these 2 extravaganzas coming up. We're going to be in New York and we're going to be in Boston. And he was like, well, are the guys aware of that? It's like, of course the guys are aware that the extravaganza's coming up. And I said, what we should do right now, we should go interrupt the show. And Newt wanted to know what the extravaganza is like, and I thought maybe I can show him what the show is like by playing a quick little audio game with you guys. So just the novellas though, because I just want the brothers to go up head to head against each other, and the 3 of them, or the 3 plus Newt, we'll have Newt involved as well. And this is a little game that I came up with. Can we do that? I know you're in the middle of talking about, I don't know, whatever, exoplanets or whatever the hell you're talking about.
It's up to Steve.
Can we do that?
I mean, I don't think we can get rid of you if we wanted to, George.
No, you can't actually. Yeah, that's part of my contract, So here's the deal. So I have a little game, okay? And the game is called Nice Package. The game is called Nice Package. Okay, that's what the game is called. And the game works this way. I am packing things for our 2 shows. Oh, by the way, when are those shows? What are the details on those shows, Jay? Again,
We're gonna be in New York Friday, March 25th, doing a live recording of the podcast.
Oh, wow, that's right. Yeah, okay, there's that. And then what else?
And then on Saturday, the 26th, we're going to be doing an extravaganza downtown in Manhattan.
Oh, right, in that cool comedy club called Caveat, right? Or the cool
correct.
theater place called Caveat. Okay, and then what happens after that?
And then we drive to Connecticut to sleep, and then we drive to Boston on Sunday morning, the 27th, to do another private show at noon.
Nice.
And then at 7 p.m. that night, we are going to do our second extravaganza, and that's on the 27th.
Oh, in the good old, right outside of Beantown there. A wicked, hilarious, science-based show for you all. It's going to be fantastic. Okay.
And if you go to theskepticsguide.org/events, you can see all the dates and buy tickets.
Are tickets still available? Because they're going quick, I understand, but they're still available.
There's a few
right?
left. There's a few left. You got to hurry.
Okay. Well, what that show is like, if you're wondering what the extravaganza is like Newt was wondering what the show's like, we don't play this particular game, but this is kind of the vibe we're going to have. So this is a game, like I said, it's called Nice Package. And I am packing things for our 2 shows, okay?
Okay.
I am putting things into my virtual suitcase. And I'm going to say what I'm packing. And you have to guess what the theme is that's going to associate. There is a theme, basically. That there's, like, let's say I said, I'm packing a lemon. And then each of you is going to guess what else you can pack. So you have to think, okay, what is it about a lemon? And you're going to guess and get it right or wrong. And then I'll say, oh, I'm packing a school bus. And you're going to think, oh, wait, those are both yellow. Maybe that's the theme, is yellow things. And so you don't say what the theme is. You just say what you're going to pack. And I'm going to say you can bring that or you can't bring that. You get it?
Okay.
Got
it.
So it's like a little thing.
Nice.
So we're going to go right around the horn. We're going to go Jay, Steve, Newt, and then Bob. Okay. So for this first one, this is going to be easy. And then as soon as you get 2 things in your package, you're good to go. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to pack a wrench.
Okay.
Jay, what are you going to pack?
I'm going to pack a screwdriver.
No, you're not going to pack a screwdriver. Steve, what are you going to pack?
I'm going to pack a bolt.
No, you're not going to pack a bolt. Newt, what are you going to pack?
I'm going to pack a pipe.
No, you're not going to pack a pipe. Bob, what are you going to pack?
Pliers?
No, you're not going to pack pliers. The second item I'm going to pack is a wreath. I'm going to pack a wreath. Jay, what are you going to pack?
I'm going to pack a door.
Nope, you're not going to pack a door. Steve, what are you going to pack?
You're going to pack a wreck.
Yes, you are going to pack a wreck. Yes, you are going to pack a wreck. Good.
Oh.
Newt, what are you going to pack?
I'm going to pack a writing utensil.
Yes, you are going to pack a writing utensil. Bob, what are you going to pack?
A wren.
Bob is going to pack a wren. Here's something else I'm going to pack. I'm going to pack a knob. I'm going to
All
pack
right,
a
so-
knob.
So we have a wrench, a wreath, and a knob.
Yeah, Bob. Jay, what are you going to pack?
I'm gonna pack. Should I get? Am I trying to guess something that is a part of the collection, or can I guess what the whole thing is?
No,
You
no,
want
just-
to add to the. You want to pack something. What are you going to
Yeah,
pack? If-
don't
if-
say
I'm
what the
gonna
theme is. Just say what you want to pack.
I'm gonna pack coconuts.
no, you're not going to pack coconuts. Steve, what are you going to pack?
A knife.
Steve's going to pack a knife. Very good. Yes, Steve is in. Good. Newt, what do you got?
I was going to say myself, but to mix it up a bit, I'm going to say a gnat. I'm going to say a gnat.
You're going to pack a gnat. Very good. Yes, you can. Bob, what are you going to pack?
All right.
Knowledge. I'm gonna pack
Yeah.
knowledge.
Bob is going to pack knowledge. Okay, I'm going to add another one here. I'm going to pack a czar. But Jay, come on, get one item.
I'm gonna pack Putin.
The other guys are packed.
So Jay, you have to think
I'm
wrench.
gonna pack a pterodactyl. This is just
Wrench,
me and Jay now. I'm gonna pack a
wreath,
All right,
pterodactyl.
so we got a wrench.
Yeah.
We got a wreath,
Knife,
a knife,
a czar,
a czar,
a knob. We've got
knob,
newt. We've
a
got a
newt.
pterodactyl.
and a pterodactyl, and all of these
Yes.
things are related somehow.
Yes.
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 And I'm the only one that
Could you
doesn't know
bring a
this.
xylophone?
That's right.
Out of the 500 people on
We've
the
also got some herbs, Jay. We've also got a psychic.
Yeah.
All the first letters are silent, Jay. All the first letters of those are silent. You see? You see? It's okay. It's okay. You did
I'm
good.
off my medication today. All right.
You did
What do you
good.
want
All
me
right.
to do?
We're gonna do one more. This is. I'm not sure if I should I do the really hard one or the semi hard one.
Let's go easier, please.
to the Hemi. I mean the semi.
Okay, here's the semi hard one. Ready? I'm gonna pack a pencil. Jay, what are you gonna pack?
I'm gonna pack a pen.
You are gonna pack a pen. Steve, what are you gonna pack?
A pineapple.
Steve, you're not gonna pack a pineapple. Newt, what are you gonna pack? We've got a pen and a pencil so far.
A pen and a pencil.
Yep.
It's a theme. I'll say paper.
No, you're not gonna pack paper. Bob, what are you gonna pack?
One of those feathers that you could write with.
Quill.
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 No, you're not gonna pack a quill. I'm gonna pack a bean bag. We've got a pen. We've got a pencil. We've got a bean bag. Jay, what are you gonna pack?
I'm going to pack marble.
No, you're not gonna pack a marble. Steve.
A hen.
Yes, you are gonna pack a hen. Very good. Newt, what are you gonna pack?
I was going to go with the wren.
No, you're not gonna pack a wren. We've got a pencil. We've got a
Nah.
pen. We've got a hen, and we've got a bean bag. Bob, what do you got?
A binary computer.
A binary computer. No, you're not going to pack a binary computer. I'm going to also pack some perfume. Some perfume.
All right. Pen, pencil, beanbag, perfume.
Yep.
And what did Steve say?
A hen.
A hen.
Yes. This is hard.
This is hard. I'm going
Yes.
to pack. I am going to pack a French pantomime.
No, you're not going to pack a French pantomime. Steve, do you know what's going on here? I think you do.
No, I think I got lucky last time.
Oh, you got lucky. Oh,
God, you got lucky with hen.
oh okay. So what else are you
I'm
going to
gonna
pack?
say hen. Okay.
Let's see. What was your last one, George?
What did we have? We had
Pen,
a
pencil,
pen,
hen.
a pencil, a bean bag, a hen, and that's it.
No, what would you said? One more thing.
Oh, what did I say? Oh, let's say some peroxide. I'm going to pack
Oh
some
no, you said
peroxide.
perfume.
Oh, perfume,
You said
yeah.
perfume.
Perfume or peroxide, yeah.
Perfume or peroxide. Oh, that's interesting.
We need a guess. Just guess anything.
Okay, I'll say stencil.
Nope, not a stencil. People in the chat
Falsified
have got it.
hypothesis.
They're doing well. People in the chat are doing really well, actually. Newt, what do you got?
Should I read in
Oh,
the chat.
I'll read the chat.
I won't say who's right. There are some right answers.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
lot of right answers.
I'm trying to think of the theme.
You guys are smart here. Pen.
If I
pencil.
brought a Peloton bike.
Yes, you can bring a Peloton bike. Yes. Bob?
Can I bring Hanes underwear?
No, you
Hanes?
cannot bring Hanes underwear. I'm going to bring some ceviche. I'm going to also bring some veggies. I'm going to bring some teeth. I'm going to bring some serotonin.
Wait,
I'm going to bring...
You all right? I thought we had maybe something going on here with the letter P, but that has now
Nope.
been destroyed.
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Here's great cerebellum, peanut, beef jerky, seals. Who else? Scents, meat. These are all correct answers. The chat is doing great. A Geo. You're gonna bring Geo. Sex toys. Yes, you're gonna bring that.
Well, Geo and sex toys definitely go
A
together.
Heath bar. You're gonna bring a Heath bar. You're gonna bring a Peel. You're gonna bring George. You're gonna bring the weather. You're gonna bring a bee. You're gonna bring a peacock. You're gonna bring eels. A celestial body.
All right, you're just screwing with us at this point.
LED.
The second
got it.
letter is E. The second letter is
Yeah.
E.
Man,
That's
second
too
letter
simple.
is
Yeah.
E.
God.
we could have gone on for about a half hour. more.
Xenomorph, melatonin, bezels, people, death. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we bring death.
They're gonna pack death.
That was good,
See,
George.
this is the kind of frustrating funness that you have at the
Embarrassing.
extravaganza.
Yes.
Yeah. This is,
This is just the audio version. It's like, quick, George, come up with an audio game. Here we go. This will work great.
I'm still not even sure I got the first one.
Are we gonna do a third round so we can redeem ourselves?
You want
No.
a third round?
Just put it out of our misery right now.
Okay,
don't-
this is the easiest one. I'll give you a
All right, let's
third
do
round.
it.
This is
Let's do
easy.
it.
I'm gonna bring
crap.
Bob. I'm gonna pack Jay, what are you gonna pack?
I'm gonna pack Jay.
Nope, you're not gonna pack Jay. Steve, what are you gonna pack?
A lollipop.
Nope. Newt, what are you gonna pack?
Bacon.
Nope, not bacon. Bob, what are you gonna bring
I'm gonna
apart from
pack-
yourself?
I'm gonna pack sis.
You are gonna pack sis. Yes. We're also gonna pack
Okay.
a race car. Jay, what are we gonna pack? We have Bob, sis, and a race car.
Spelled sis. S-Y-S? S-I-S?
SIS.
SIS.
Sis. Okay, Bob, sis, and a race car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pack a weekend in Vegas.
No, you're not. Steve.
A pip.
A pip. Yes, you're gonna pack a pip. Newt, what are you gonna pack?
Can I say shirts?
No, not shirts. Nope. Not shirts.
That's not going to count. All right.
Nope. Bob, what else are you gonna pack?
Boobs.
Close.
Not boobs.
A singular boob that
A
would work.
singular boob, maybe?
Okay.
Okay,
A
you're gonna
singular
bring
boob,
one
I saw.
boob, yes.
I was trying to scam it.
I like them in pairs.
Here's a good one. Go some more in the chat here. A gag. We're gonna pack
Yeah.
a gag. So Jay, what else are we gonna pack?
I'm gonna pack pop.
You're gonna pack pop. Yes. Steve, what else you got?
The deed to my house.
The deed. Very good. Newt's got it. Yes. Do you have it, Newt?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna pack my hearth.
Is that no?
Nope, that's not right.
No, it's not
That
right.
won't work? Oh.
No. Maybe a taco cat. Maybe a civic. We're gonna pack a civic or a madam.
Taco cat, but a hearth.
Or a bib.
or a bib or a DVD
Or a
or a level.
Ooh, level.
That's a
DVD
good
works,
one.
but a hearth doesn't work. Level is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Level is good.
Or a nun.
Or some non.
Or some or a tenant or
Yeah,
mom.
tenant.
Non works. Ooh, when Bob said that, I got hungry.
Right?
Does trout?
I gotta eat.
Would a trout? If I brought a trout?
Nope.
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 No.
Last chance, Newt. Here we go. Some stats,
then
some
a,
poop. I'm gonna bring some poop and a
Or
gag.
some pop.
Poop, pop, gag, madam, radar, rotator.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, bib.
Somebody said
That's right.
evil olive. Oh my God, I
An
love
evil
it.
olive. My favorite one of these is go hang a salami. I'm a lasagna hog. That's my favorite one of these. It's a palindrome, my friend.
Palindromes.
They're
Yeah,
all
that's
palindromes. A man upon a canal,
Palindromes.
Panama.
Ah,
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
man.
I thought it had to be just the first and last letter
Nope,
of the
nope.
same. Had to be
All
full
palindromes.
So we all got hit on, we all got snagged on one of these.
Yep.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You got to think completely out of the box.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I had another one that was all the hardest one I had, which we're not going to do because this is crazy. It's all words that have Arabic origin.
Oh,
boy.
that would have been
That's
stupid.
Right?
That's
Admiral,
evil.
apricot,
Yeah.
macrame, algebra, tamarind, alcove, orange, kebab, talisman, hookah,
Zenith.
coffee, sofa, fatwa.
Azimuth.
There's so many. Azimuth, yeah.
That would have taken me about 3 years.
That would have been really hard. So yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Thanks, George.
You will
was
redeem
fun.
yourself at the Boston show or maybe the New York show of the extravaganza because tickets. Apparently tickets are still available. Is that right, Jay? Tickets are still available for these shows.
George, I just checked, and yes, there are some tickets left.
All right. Do
For
it,
all
folks.
the shows.
For all the shows. Look, if you've never been to a private recording, they are an absolute blast. Because like what you hear when you hear a private recording that's broadcast is what? 60% of it, maybe? What do you figure? 65% of it. The rest of it is sort of stuff that doesn't get broadcast. It doesn't get
stuff that
edited
really
down.
can't- Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's where
60%.
all the fun stuff. We make fun of Jay the entire time. All of the linguistic stuff. It's just really, really fun. So come to a private show and then go see the extravaganza, which is just a laugh riot.
It's an exercise in humiliation, basically.
Yes, in the best way.
Lots
The
of
best
cursing.
Anyway,
For us, not for the audience.
Yes.
Although the audience gets to participate a little bit in the humiliation, but not that much.
thanks for playing. Nice package.
Thank you, George.
Well, thank you, Newt and George, for joining us unexpectedly.
I
on
even
the
made
show.
it backwards in case the camera was going to be the other way. See how prepared.
Nice.
Look at that, huh? Come on.
It's like the ambulance in the river mirror.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that drives you over, runs you over.
All right.
Go back to your show now. Like finish the rest of the podcast. I'll see you.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, everyone, and thank you, audience, for being patient with us. We are going to slide into the quiz. So, Ian, please cue
Yeah.
that up while we take a question.
We're
You
gonna
can
do
ask
it.
Newt a question if you want to. You can ask
Slide
George a
into the quiz
question
there.
if you want to.
Gonna take a minute, folks, and looks like we're gonna have a quiz coming up on the left side of the plane.
Or I could let Ian do what he's doing. I could read
Yeah.
you guys an email that I got today.
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
Dear Steven.
Steve, I
I'll read
love
you
it.
the whole thing. Let's give
There's
you
a
the
lot of
cut
them.
to where is it now?
Here's the theme. It's an email. It's an email. SGU got an email.
So
I just wrote that.
That's it.
genius.
Is that on the album, George?
Yeah, that's
Right.
side 2. It's a 40-minute jam.
So this is like an unsolicited email. I'm not sure why this guy sent it to me.
That's a good start.
But apparently, this guy has discovered. He's cracked Kubrick's code in The Shining.
Okay.
And
oh boy, this is already.
What he has
provocative.
discovered is, in all caps, mind blowing. Which he tells me this multiple times throughout the email. So you guys know that there's a conspiracy theory going around that Stanley Kubrick filmed the Apollo 11 landing.
Yeah.
What?
That he confessed to doing this in secret code in the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
Right?
It's on the kid's sweater. The NASA
So
rocket,
exactly, there is an Apollo rocket on the kid's sweater.
which is
So-
what else could it mean?
I mean, QED. But it's a long, kind of rambling email, and he's promoting
Shocker.
whatever his book or video, whatever it is. But here's the one thing I wanted to key in on is the pattern that he follows is to find many connections to the thing that he's looking at. So, like for example, the let's see, if you look at the how Jack is writing, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Oh boy, yeah.
Right? So that apparently is an anagram.
For what?
It's an anagram for Clue Pay SKBR, which I guess is Kubrick, aka Moon Land. I mean, what are the odds?
It's so clear. I mean, it's so concise.
But not only that, but you could also get the words moon, moonland, moonwalk, boldly, area, and then he adds 51 after that. NASA, Apollo, one small, leap, man, space, race, lunar, lander, and then he keeps going on. Solar.
So he's just
nebula,
taking
sun.
letters. He's just taking letters that are in that set.
Yeah. So isn't it amazing that you can make all those words from the letters in that long sentence, all work and no play? Like, what are the odds? So and then he does
50-50.
for room 237. You guys know about room 237. In the book, it was room 21217. Now, it is legitimate. I took a course on Stanley Kubrick, and one of the things that we would do is read the source material and then see what he changed, because he probably had a reason for changing it. You know, like he made a topiary into a maze, a hedge maze. There was a reason for that. That tells you about what he was trying to accomplish with the movie. But so now, this guy is saying that 237 was part of the code, right? So let's see. In the book, the room is 2217. So the distance between the Earth and the Moon is roughly 237,000 miles. Right? Now, if he had just stopped there, that probably would have been more impressive than continuing to go. But also, the Earth's axial tilt is roughly 23.7 degrees. The Moon orbits the Earth in 27.3 days. So the numbers are mixed up, but they're all in there. Or the number 237 could refer to the date 23rd of July, 1969. And you know what happened on that date?
Yeah.
They left.
The movie, The April Fools, came out on that day. Now, Kubrick, who's a filmmaker, obviously would have known that.
Sure.
And therefore incorporated that into, the secret coding that he's making.
And that's good enough for him.
And then he keeps going. And then he keeps going with 237.
Yeah.
Like the phase lasts the moon's phases last for 7 days, with the moon being more illuminated each day until the full moon. Then he says 23-7. Okay. So the fact that you could make so many connections is actually good evidence that they're all nonsense, right? That it's apophenia, right? It's just looking for
data mining. Yeah.
It's just data mining, looking for coincidences, looking for patterns. If there was one solid connection, that would be way more convincing than, look, I could find hundreds of words, or like basically doing numerology, right? Or like the ALL, the all in all work and no play. The ALL is actually A11 for Apollo 11.
Oh my God!
That's the whole. He just keeps going on that. So he doesn't. His algorithm is broken, right? He doesn't realize that by finding all of these connections, he's actually debunking his own theory by demonstrating that it's all pattern recognition and apophenia.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to make this assumption that, a director of a movie spent apparently years of figuring out ways to codify, information into his movie, basically 100 Easter eggs that are all clues that he did the moon mission. And then you have to ask yourself the question, and why would he do that?
Yeah,
why would he even bother putting all those clues there? What's the point?
Yeah. Right.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he wanted people to know, why wouldn't he write it in a thing and say, when I die, release this to everybody?
Yeah. Exactly.
That way, I can't be whatever. I can't be killed.
The government can't kill me. Yeah.
Government can't kill me. Like, when I die, here's a letter. Open this and read it, and it'll say, "Here's how we faked the moon landing." But no, I'm going to put it into the kid's sweater in some weird, subtle way that then, of course, will mean that thing.
Well, the other
I think
thing
it's
is
a legit mental illness. That is definitely. There's something not correct with if you're caught on that type of thinking, like that's unhealthy. Definitely something's wrong.
Well, but it can be, if you don't understand the process, it can be very convincing. Like if you don't understand how data mining works and how you're remembering the hits, you're confirming your presupposed hypothesis, by finding the information that does confirm it. If you're not aware that that's a thing, it can be really freaky and impressive.
Yeah,
but as soon as you realize that, you should be able to go, oh, okay. Like, the Bible code. I mean, it's
the Bible
like
code.
when the Bible code came out, I remember being like, wait a minute, like, what the hell? That's amazing. And then you start digging and you go, oh, you can do this with any source of
anything.
Anything.
Yeah,
with Moby
like
Dick,
Nostradamus predicts everything. Which is the same as predicting nothing.
Right.
When we were kids, George, tell me if you guys, if Newt or George remember this. I remember when we were, young teenagers, preteen. One of these kinds of conspiracies going around was that if you compare the assassination of Lincoln and the assassination of Kennedy, there's all these incredible alignments. Like Lincoln was shot in a theater and the shooter ran to a bookstore, and
vice versa.
And Kennedy was shot from a book.
Lincoln had a Secretary Kennedy. Yeah, right.
He
was in a Ford. He was driving a Ford. He was in a Ford theater.
He's in a Ford theater.
So if you take any two historical events and then plumb them for thousands of details, you will find alignments. The fact that you can do it, again, the fact that you could do that between the assassination of Kennedy and Lincoln is proof that you could do it to any two historical events.
Yeah.
It's not proof that they're somehow cosmically linked or like the same. That's the other thing, is that this is the other sort of thing that the people who buy into this don't realize, because they didn't think about it for 2 seconds, is how could Kubrick possibly have engineered all of these alignments? You know what I mean? Like the fact that you could make all these alignments between the number 237 and the orbit of the moon and the angular this, and like that's astronomy. He couldn't engineer that, or if somebody tried to kill Kennedy in such a way that it would have all these alignments with Lincoln, you couldn't ever engineer that. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no way you could make all those details line up. Deliberately, it's just random noise, and it's just the background noise of any historical events. But that's the grist for conspiracy theories, right? It's just looking at mining details for coincidences and then making them sound sinister. Or
it's just as soon as you know what the process, like when the guy that wrote the Bible code, he literally said, well, you couldn't do this with Moby Dick, and then someone did it with Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yes.
And he was still like, well, it's different because this is God stuff, so it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now you're just deluding yourself.
But your hypothesis is wrong. You can do this with Moby Dick. You can do it with anything.
With anything.
So
with any series
with Nostradamus, and the researchers, they took Nostradamus's predictions, and then gave them to historians of like your Chinese historian or a European historian or a South American historian, whatever. And they were able to equally find connections to the historical events in whatever their
sphere. It's their
whatever their sphere was.
Yeah.
That's what he predicted everything because it's just random correlation.
It's volume too. And, Edgar Casey wrote volumes and volumes of nonsense. And so when you go through volumes of nonsense, it's just data that you can then manipulate and say like, oh, it's this and this and this.
And that's what QAnon is.
Yeah.
But deliberately, like QAnon just throws out a whole bunch of shit and lets the QAnon followers make the connection.
Here's random letters I typed in a thing. And
they'll do the hard work. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. This means this and this and this. Steve, have you seen the movie Spencer?
No, I don't think so.
It's about Diana. It's
okay. I know
what's her name from the Twilight movies? She stars as Diana.
Yeah.
It's got a real Kubrick vibe to it.
Does it?
I don't know if you'd enjoy it, but it's worth seeing just because it's like Stewart. Yeah, it has this very dreamy. It says it's a fairy tale based on sort of true events. I think that's how they frame it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a real Kubrick vibe off it. You might
appreciate
it. Yeah.
Spencer. Okay.
All right, let's go to the quiz.
Yeah.
The quiz.
Please.
Now.
All right, so go to darkenergy.games, everybody. I sent our link in the private chat. You can use that as well. Everybody else.
There.
Excellent. Go ahead. Everybody in the chat, we'll wait for you to get ready.
And Steve, there is something like, I don't know, man, there must be a conspiracy because I think the quiz is actually tied into this moon landing thing somehow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
See? Proof.
I mean, Steve and I did not talk before. I had no idea that Steve was going to talk about this, but they're connected.
I got this email today, and if I have time, I'll bring it up on the live stream.
If you shave Buzz Aldrin's balls, you actually can see.
Yes, no, he's right. The angle there is exactly.
And if he bends over at 23.7 degrees.
When do we hit circumcise? When do we hit the button? Do we have to hit the button?
Yeah, wait
Not
for
yet.
me.
Okay, we're gonna wait for you.
I will.
He is
Yeah,
doing things.
I'm the Moyle in this.
He's the Moyle, Moyle gamer.
Steve, what are we doing tonight, by the way?
We're going to dinner.
Yeah, but what is this igloo
Doing a
thing?
quiz.
It's outdoors, so it's a
Ooh.
way to have dinner outdoors without freezing our asses off.
But are we going to be in a real igloo, or are we in a pop-up?
Well,
tent?
it's going to be like a plastic tent that's
It's
heated.
English.
English. Okay.
English.
It's not made of
Egg-like.
ice, blocks of
English
ice.
princess?
It's a
Because when my
faux. It's a
wife
faux
told me
glue.
about it, I got not. She wasn't trying to deceive me, but she was probably
Yes, she
joking
was.
around with me.
It's a
I
tent,
thought
Jay.
that
You're
we
gonna
were
be in a
literally
tent.
going to be in like a giant igloo. I don't know. I've never done this before.
It's
Are you
an
gonna pack an
igloo
igloo?
analog.
This is what they're doing so that people could still go to their restaurant during COVID. You
Okay.
do it outdoors, but it's winter. It's like we'll heat it. We'll heat it the outdoors so
Okay.
that you can have dinner.
What kind of food?
But
do they
don't be
serve?
late, because if we're late, they give it away to somebody else. Like they don't hold
I'm
it for you.
going to leave right after this.
Yeah.
What kind of food is this?
No,
restaurant?
you're not. It's an
They
eight.
open the door and you go into it.
Yeah, and go
Oh,
in it.
nice.
Ah,
No, that
All
was
right.
good. That's
My most clever joke I ever wrote was
Yes.
did you
A little
hear about-
racist though, but go ahead.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit. Well, no, it's actually that's the better one because Eskimo is the bad word, right?
Yeah.
Eskimo is the thing. Yeah, but did you hear about the?
I think.
yeah.
Did you hear about the Eskimo who didn't like snow? He just wasn't that into it. Just wasn't that into it. Shit, I fucked it up.
That's all right.
Fucked up your most
That's
clever
fine.
joke.
Yeah, my
Okay,
most clever
let's
joke.
synchronize. Here we go.
Circumcise the
Yeah,
game.
when I say click, we're gonna hit that synchronize button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. A question from Fox J. Will. Question for Newt. What do you know about cows?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you know about cows? That's not fair.
I know about cows. That's not fair. That lady was unstoppable a couple of live streams ago. I do not know
Del,
about ruminants
you know a lot.
at all.
Del
But
knows
was
she
that?
knew
What
nothing
happened?
about flying a plane.
What
Yeah,
happened?
so we had a dairy
Yeah.
farmer come on. She's a listener of the show and she's a patron of the show. And she
Yeah.
came on, and we didn't know. We just figured we were going to learn a little bit more about like dairy farming,
Okay.
and she blew our brains out of the back of our head with information about dairy farming.
She was utterly
talked-
brilliant.
Was it utterly brilliant? God
Yes.
damn it! You fucking
Utterly
I was
brilliant.
gonna say I was waiting. I was waiting.
George,
They were.
Little
she talked
Too
for
slow,
most of
George.
the live stream, and it was like I got the sense from her that she could have talked for about 5 more hours.
Wow.
She knew so
Well, she has
much
4
information.
stomachs, so you know.
Yeah. So yeah, it was incredible. And
She was
now
good
I'm
for a
like,
while.
we became friends on Facebook, and now I'm like reading her posts, and like
So you
there's a
chewed the
lot
cud
of,
with her for a while, and what? Like then?
Yeah.
there's a lot of drama on the dairy farm.
These
There's
are
a lot of
bad.
stuff going on. Pretty cool.
But you milked her for all the information you possibly could,
I
right?
did, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't make up
Done?
for it.
All right, let's play the game.
It helps,
Fine.
though.
Good.
It helps.
First game. Yes, they were great. And away we go. How many phases of the moon are there? 4,
Steve.
6, 8, or 10? Stop asking your brother.
237.
No, it's
Pay attention to your own quiz, sir.
it's a coincidence or not. This is amazing. This dovetails right into Steve's segment.
It's almost like you planned it.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost like it's a psyop. Everybody.
Is one of the phases of the moon for it to get angry?
It's
You wouldn't like the
teenage
moon when
phase.
it's angry.
Yeah.
God damn, this is harder than it should be.
Yes.
There-
Just counting in my head.
And the answer is
Ah.
don't switch back and forth between the browsers, everybody, just so it doesn't delay. The answer is 8.
I went the full.
These 8 phases are in order: new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. The cycle repeats once a month. Every
Oh.
29.5 days.
The waning and waxing crescent got me. Damn it.
Okay, we will recover.
Wane on, wax off. Rounded off. What
You ever
is
wax
the
your crescent?
moon's-
You ever do that?
Easy. This is going to get age restricted, this whole stream. What is the moon's diameter? Is it 2,000 miles, or 3,200 kilometers, 3,000 miles, or 4,800 kilometers, 4,000 miles, 6,400 kilometers, or 5,000 miles, 8,000 kilometers?
This is an easy one.
Well,
That's easy.
Wait,
So
diameter
easy.
or radius?
Diameter, Bob. It's right in the question.
It says
Diameter.
diameter, so we have to assume that that's what you meant.
And can't you tell by the picture that I selected that I'm talking about that?
The moon?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
And the answer is
The answer is 2,000 miles, or 3,200 kilometers.
Yeah, baby.
Actual is 2,159 miles and 3,474 kilometers. 3,474.
Moon.
There you go. Merp.
Moon.
Jumped over the moon. The pull of the moon does what to the Earth? Does it affect the weather, cause ocean currents, slows the Earth's rotation, adds a wobble to the Earth's rotation? Add apostrophes as needed.
it's one of these four.
Yes, it is. I
When they
guarantee
say
it.
that the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, what does that even mean?
Is that
That's
the
amore.
next question?
Oh, that's what it means. Okay.
So. And
I'm gonna have to correct you on this one, Jay.
ooh,
No, you're not.
it does.
Why-
all
why?
the above.
What-
Got it.
What's the
The
correction?
answer is apparently, according to Jay, slowing the Earth's rotation.
Steve,
This was
how is
on,
that not
this
the
was on
end? How is-
space.com's website.
But that
That's where I
affects
got it.
everything.
But doesn't
Yeah.
it also? I know that. That's what I chose.
Eventually-
Doesn't it also give it a little bit of a wobble?
No, it removes wobble
No,
from the Earth.
it's slow. It's tidal breaking. It's tidal breaking.
I know,
It
but the
steals
tidal breaking, that's why
rotational
that's what I
energy,
put
as the
throws it
answer.
to a higher
Breaking.
orbit, moves farther away from us. It's fascinating. Look up tidal breaking.
Next question.
What is the moon's
Oh.
thin atmosphere called? Orbosphere, lunosphere, manosphere, exosphere.
Damn.
Tim.
Tim.
It has as much of an atmosphere. If you took the air in a baseball stadium and put it on the moon, that's how thick. That's about how thin it is.
That's thin.
No idea.
But it's there and it's fascinating. And I forget the damn name of it.
Spherosphere.
Come on. I thought it might be that.
Yeah, the one that it sounds like, man.
Exosphere.
That's too obvious.
It was
I
only
knew
3
this.
away.
I knew this at one point, and
Go ahead,
my
Ian.
brain failed me.
The next one isn't up yet. Or is the next one up for
You
you?
didn't say the answer.
I said exosphere.
Oh, there you go.
The answer is exosphere.
Exosphere. That's cool. If I had an atmosphere, I'd want it to be cool like that.
Not endosphere. The
J-sphere.
next one is moon rock and dust are made of what the most? Or made of mostly what? Probably.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
I'm time
oxygen-
compromised, okay?
Oxygen, silicon, magnesium, or iron. Not silicone. Silicon.
Is this one tough, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll let you know in 9 seconds.
A few more seconds.
Chemistry question.
I think I know the answer, but
And the
Oh, I
answer
thought that was me.
Got it.
is
What is a
oxygen.
chemistry question?
It's 43% oxygen, 20% silicon,
what?
19% magnesium, and 10% iron.
Well, you didn't say by weight or by number of atoms. Or
It's
by
a light
volume.
quiz.
or-
It's just a light quiz. This is. And I'll do this for fun. Like I
I'm
get all
betting
these, like,
$500 a question here, Jay. I am so in the pooper here.
Even lighter on the moon.
80%. I would add 100% if it was silicon.
The moon definitely is one of those
Thought it
things
was
in
too.
my life that has
That's
always.
second.
It's always a
Made
source
oxygen.
of beauty to me. I
Awful.
love the moon. I think the
Awful,
moon
awful.
is gorgeous.
We've reached the end of the quiz. Here we go. Disembark.
All right.
Folks,
Yeah,
looks
we're
like
disembarking from the quiz
we're
now.
at the end of the quiz, and we're going to try to tally up the scores there and make sure that you put your Computer's back where they were before the flight, and I'm going to go probably slow shotgun. Because,
All right,
turns out,
49% of people guessed correctly on how many number of phases of the moon. 8. That so that was great. Most people answered correctly with the moon's diameter. That was 43%.
wow.
62% answered correctly about what does the moon do to the Earth, slowing
Good.
the Earth's rotation.
Good for you.
What does the moon do to the Earth?
Hey, I won on this one. The moon's atmosphere is called the exosphere, but 50%, which is the vast majority of everyone got, they said lunosphere.
No, it's half.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly half.
The vast majority.
Good one, Jay.
I'm trying to make it sound more impressive. And then
Vast majority.
and on the last
man's
one,
Majority,
gonna
minority.
let him have his
Minority,
moment.
most people, 65, the vast majority of the
Now
audience
you can
guessed
say that.
incorrectly and guessed silicon
Yeah, I got
instead
that.
of oxygen, which only got 15%. of the
Wow.
answers.
Well
So
done,
yes.
Jay. Good job, Jay Bird.
Well, because George, when I look at this, my goal here is to entertain people, and maybe they walk away with a little tidbit of information they didn't have.
Someday, Jay.
Mhm.
Someday.
You know? Somebody might be at a bar tonight and go, "Hey
Whether it's
guys, I
technically
wonder,
correct or
do
not."
you know what moon dust and rocks are made of most? What do you think?" And they're gonna probably find someone to go on a date with that night because of this quiz.
Stir the
But
bar.
more
up.
likely, Jay.
about the moon. My wife left me. Leave me alone.
More likely, Jay, they're going to remember the wrong answer,
Maybe.
and the ugly
Maybe.
guy's going to get the girl. Hey, let's play my video.
Oh, right. I forgot about those. Okay, so we have a couple
So
videos.
today, let me know before mine goes up.
It's gonna show in just a moment. I don't
me
think there's
open.
any audio, right? No,
No audio.
no audio. Here's
Today
the
was
video.
a big day for me. I downloaded City of Heroes and saw my awesome character. I love him so much. He's a brain in a jar with a robot body. And this is going a lot slower than when I did it.
Yeah, it's a little glitchy.
And it's very low res. But
It's very low res, yeah.
there's
Yeah,
my
it is.
robot butt. My robot butt is
There's only
smaller
2
than I would
feet.
like.
I'm not seeing a butt.
Yeah, there's not much there. It's kind of like your butt, Jay.
It's like one boob. What are you talking about?
So,
All right, that's
it's-
fun. Thank you.
Close enough.
I love him. I love him,
That's
Jay.
great, man.
And you love him too.
That was
I do. I
exciting.
think it is cool. If you
love
see
it.
it up close,
Yeah.
it's very cool.
I built him from
Professor
scratch.
Frank,
Marvel
Professor
tags.
Frank, you make it laugh, he'll make it think with the person.
Big. It's a brain in a jar.
And
And there he
dessert.
is.
Where? Why am I not seeing this?
Good.
You not seeing it in the
I
corner?
love it.
No, I see a gray boob is all I see.
No. Same
I'm
thing.
not talking about Bob. I'm talking about the thing on the screen.
All right.
So
Well, take
Jay, someone's asking about Alpha Quadrant 6. When is that going to come back?
Alpha Quadrant 6. So
Steve.
I have very good news about Alpha Quadrant 6. We have finally got approval from Weta to actually show the documentary that we shot at Weta. It's all edited.
Hey.
It's completely done. It's ready to go.
What?
So what we're going to do is we are going to warm up the audience with a couple of episodes, and then we're going to drop the Weta documentary, and then we're going to continue to drop more Alpha Quadrant 6 episodes.
Might do it as a premiere even.
yeah,
So it'll be
yeah.
like a live.
When did you
chat
guys film
kinda thing.
stuff?
So when we
When
were in
New Zealand.
2019, then the pandemic happened.
Oh, the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not two times. Oh, wow. They
No,
let you
yeah.
film?
Yep.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually shot a legit documentary in there.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah,
cool.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
So
Yeah.
very soon we will be rebooting AQ6 in all of its science fiction glory.
That's our science fiction review show.
Yeah. Do the new Picard season.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
Saw the
Yes,
first episode.
I saw the
Interesting.
first episode last night.
Interesting. We're choosing covers for our second book. That's an interesting process.
Mm.
The Skeptic's Guide to the Future.
Can we show one, Steve?
I don't
No.
know.
No, we
I
can't.
don't think. I would say no.
I would say yes.
we'll have to get permission before we show any of the stuff that they're giving us.
All I'm going to tell you is it's better and cooler than the first cover because we just want to keep progressing. All right, it's a picture of George. Okay, we'll let them know. George is the
Oh, I'm
future.
gonna buy that book.
That'll be our next book, The Skeptic's Guide to George.
George.
Perfect.
All right, you want to take a question, guys?
Yeah.
Yes. First one, how's the 3D printing going? I just looked at it, and one of my prints failed, which is fun, and then the other one's good.
We're,
How
we're
did
up
it
to
fail?
2.5D so far.
Yeah. Lots
Ian, show the video if you can. That'd be cool.
Which one? Oh, of the. I
My
don't
video
have it
again.
on the thing.
When it
Yep.
fails, how does it like fall over mid print? I mean, what happens?
This one is it's spaghettified. It's on the new printer. So we got the print mill, and so it didn't adhere correctly, and I'm watching it fail in real time. I can't control it from here, so I have to go kick it.
This is what typically happens when you start using a new 3D printer. You have to tune it in. You have to like actually make minute adjustments to make sure everything is lined up correctly.
Yeah, so that's fun. And then here's a question: are any of you playing Elden Ring?
No.
Any of you nerds?
I've heard of
Elven
it, but
Ring?
I
Elden.
don't have time.
Elden Ring. No.
It's a Dark Souls. If you guys are into rage games, sort of. It's good. It's like a fantasy video game. You probably like it. Okay.
It's tabletop role playing.
Yeah.
Or a video
totally.
game.
It's a video game.
A video game.
It's a video game. It's like boss fight.
I'm
after boss fight.
playing.
Pretty cool.
Believe it or not, I'm playing through Skyrim again
Oh yeah.
because they just came out with the anniversary DLC. That's a downloadable content, George. That's basically extra content for the game.
Gotcha.
I hadn't played it like a year, so I'm like, oh, let me check it out, and it's totally sucked me in again. But the new content's really good. The anniversary stuff.
Have you guys talked about Midnight Mass on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yep.
Midnight Mass was
I love it.
Awesome.
amazing.
So
Okay, all right,
much.
good. I just finished it like 2 days ago and really enjoyed it.
Dude,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was great.
Really
All I
enjoyed
can
it.
say is stick with it. Slog through the first couple
It's a
episodes.
slow burn.
No,
at first.
I thought it was great
Table
out of the box. I thought it was
Yeah.
really cool, and I didn't know where it was going. I knew nothing about it, so
I didn't either.
kept waiting it for not to be supernatural, and then like when the supernatural kind of came in, I was like, oh, okay. And then it's the only example I can think of a metaphor being used within the thing that it's a metaphor for.
Mhm.
Like, religion is being talked about, but the metaphor of this,
Careful.
this. Yeah, I don't want to give away anything.
It's kind of
but
hard
it's
to talk
like-
about it. Like giving.
Yeah. But it's a religious setting, and they're kind of commenting on religion with this other metaphor in religious. I thought it was great.
It was.
I mean,
Brilliant.
it's basically like the conspiracy theories we were talking about just before. Like they take
cultism. Yeah, cultism.
totally. It's
Yeah.
really, it's just brilliant, and you gotta. The first couple of episodes are a little slow. It's a slow burn.
I'm with George. I liked it from the beginning, but I'm
I-
okay with slow shows.
Yeah.
As long as I could see it's going somewhere and I'm interested.
Right.
I
That's
could
the problem.
I
It
could live
didn't
with the
was
seem
slow
to be
nothing
pace.
going anywhere. It was like nothing's happening.
No, there was.
I like when stuff happens.
Things were making sense. Like people's motivations made sense. You understood what this guy was about. You understood why he was in prison. You understood why he was out. That he's got this little fishing
Yes.
village thing, and like
And it was boring.
no. It was like here it comes, and
I know, and they were
The only-
laying just
it
enough
was there.
mystery.
It was
Yes. Well,
I
yeah.
just felt there was a couple of episodes that just had a little bit. It was a little bit too slow paced, but man, the payoff really worth it. So watch
Very
that
worth
show.
it.
the
Watch
thing that
it.
bugged me
Watch
is whenever I see a young actor in old makeup, you know that they're gonna
Yes.
get younger.
Yes.
Like that bugged me. Like because that you just see an actor and you're like, okay, well they're obviously there's either going to be flashbacks or they're going to be younger at some point. So that kind of like pulled me out a little bit of it. But the very, very
Don't
end,
disagree.
like literally the last like 10 minutes, I thought was like just not as great as the rest had been, but overall well worth a watch. Okay, I just wanted to get your quick take on it because
Yeah, we loved
boy,
it.
Loved
I
it.
enjoyed it.
Absolutely loved
All
it.
right, one last question, guys.
Okay, when doctors push fluids when sick, is this beyond drink when thirsty? A quick Google search turns up sites claiming that it helps recovery. When a child is sick, do I have to take a very active role making sure they have enough to drink or let them drink when thirsty?
No, when you're sick, like things are not normal, right? So drink when thirsty is when you're healthy and under normal environmental and activity conditions, right? If you're going to be in a desert, you want to get ahead of your hydration. If you're going to be engaged in athletic competition, you got to get ahead of your hydration. If you're sick, you may not even be thirsty. Depends on what the sickness is. You may get anorexia of the from the illness itself. So you know there are times when you need to push hydration beyond your thirst, but also like, if you're doing if you're hydrating because you have like a fever or cold, that kind of stuff, you want to do Gatorade, Pedialyte. You want to do electrolyte drink. You know, juice is fine rather than straight water. You want calories, electrolytes, and hydration.
I don't know, Steve. I think
better.
water's better. I've heard water's better. I don't know, Steve. I don't know, man.
The thing is, your kidneys can only dilute or concentrate so much. You're going to lose some electrolytes in your urine. If you drink straight water and you're dehydrated, you'll pee a lot of it out. You won't hold on to it. You need the electrolytes to hold on to the fluid.
Yeah.
So the best thing you could get in would be normal saline, which is why sometimes we got to jump to IV hydration. If like you need saline, you know, in your blood, or if like sometimes you can get so sick, so dehydrated, like you can't eat or drink or keep anything down. You're nauseated. Then you're stuck. You know, the way out of that is with IV hydration. But you could avoid that if you get ahead of the game and make sure you're keeping hydrated and you know have enough calories and electrolytes early on in the process.
So somebody said, so drink seawater. That's what you want us to do.
Yeah, but you can't do that. That's why you have to do it IV when you're...
Okay.
So who's
All
this
right.
little one? Hey, hold up. We got a visitor, Joe.
this
This
is-
is rude.
Yeah. So they're talking about you. You
Hi.
can't hear because I've got the earbuds in. But do you want to just say your name? Just say your name. Well, this is Poppy.
Hey,
She's
how are you?
It should be. This is Poppy. She's gonna be 7 in 2 weeks. So.
Hi there.
Hi.
Tell
They're
her
all
how many
saying hi.
people
I
are
know you
looking
can't-
at her right now.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, where is that number? Can I see that on here? One of you is gonna
Yeah,
have to tell me.
it's only 400.
We have 400 people watching right now.
400 people
400.
watching this stream. So.
She's like, ah,
People.
But,
Poppy
you know,
is.
plus
She's a big time.
couple of billion.
I got
views.
that, George.
Yeah, they're all
Best
saying
character.
Yeah, they're saying
Jay,
hi,
don't
Poppy,
show her
and they're
that.
saying Poppy, Poppy.
she's reading the comments. She's fascinated with seeing her own name.
Oh, there you go.
And people saying hi, Poppy. Yeah,
adorable.
that's pretty cool. No, she's a big time YouTube watcher, but she only watches the screamy YouTubers that stream Minecraft.
Yeah, that's what my daughter
Show her
watches.
that- I wanted to show her that some people can actually have calm conversations about interesting things,
Right.
and not just scream about.
Not calm all the time, but
Minecraft.
yeah.
That's definitely one of those things. Like if you told me 20 years
Except when
ago-
George is on. Then,
Yeah,
that's
Steve.
then we're right back
Guys,
to screamy
right-
YouTuber. This is a screamy YouTuber up there.
Guys, if somebody told you 20 years ago that watching other people play video games
Seriously.
was going to be popular, I would have had a hard time.
And
I
talk
still have a
about
hard
it,
time
yeah.
believing it.
Well, you know, we watch sports, right?
I know, but this
We
is like
watch
just
sports.
watching somebody play a video
What's
game.
the
you
difference?
didn't grow
Why
up
not
watching
just
your friends play video
because
games?
you can play the video game.
You
Right,
never
play
watched
NFL
But
your
you're not.
football.
But you can play football. You can kick a soccer ball, right? You can play tennis, but people watch tennis because
you
you see
can't play-
experts doing
You
it.
can't play at that level though.
Yeah.
And that's
Did
true
you
of
tell
video
them
games too, right?
But not really.
Isn't it? Oh, okay. I have
It's
no
not
idea.
like they're the. It's not like okay. What you're talking about, George. Like, sure, there are like video game competitions.
Yeah.
Right. That's fine. That's like now video game as a
Maybe if I
sport.
go,
But
like,
they're
right
just watching
close to your ear, I might
people
hear
just
what they're saying.
watching,
Just random
playing
people, I guess,
They're
yeah.
not. They're not like awesome.
It's like watching a random soccer
Yeah,
practice.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Poppy.
it's like
Yeah.
watching a high school soccer.
Hi, Poppy.
But no, but the thing is, it's all about
How
the
you doing?
personality and everything. But even then, like, it's
Yeah, it is-
sometimes
it
like
is
I was watching my daughter watching somebody else play
you're
a video
adorable.
game, and
Mhm.
no, but and I'm like, what is the appeal to this? Why are you watching this? Like, there's nothing
same
happening.
question.
It's like just this monotone sort of. Like there was nothing there. She's like, oh, it's just on in the background. I'm not really even
Yeah.
paying attention.
It's
And,
comfortable.
and
They like to
speaking of-
have three layers of
Right.
media going on.
Right.
There's the thing they're doing. There's something else they're interested in, and then there's a thing in the background.
Yeah.
You know, like that's enough. That's the appropriate level of
Yeah,
media,
it is
multimedia
fascinating.
stimulation.
And speaking
they're
of
having
Boomer
a
versus
conversation.
Zoomer, what is Boomer versus Zoomer coming up?
See, which
Yeah, so we-
category do I put in?
April 23rd, we're going to have our first ever live in front of an audience Boomer versus Zoomer show right here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Fun.
You can go to no show 2, the number 2, eventbrite.com, .eventbrite.com, and get tickets for that. And it's also going to be a 7 songs with me. So I'm going to do my 7-song show. We're going to switch the stage over and then do a live Boomer versus Zoomer. And our Millennium. So the way this game works, we have 4 contestants, right? A Boomer, a Zoomer, a Gen X,
Gen X and Millennial.
and a Millennial. Our Millennial contestant for the game is the mayor of Bethlehem. He's 40 years old.
What? Cool.
The mayor of Bethlehem is going to be our Boomer,
Awesome.
is our Millennial. Our Boomer is a woman, Christine Dempsey. She runs the NPR station here in Bethlehem, Channel 39. She's in charge of the radio, NPR.
What are
And
you,
we
the
have
mayor of Godtown?
Yeah, and we have a lovely actress who is our Zoomer. She's starred in 2 locally produced films. Maddie, she's really cool, and we're still going to find our Gen Xer, which I'm about to find someone. So it's going to be the fact we got the mayor is really exciting.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
going to be cool.
He's really
Yeah, I
excited.
love it.
That's awesome. So that day, the no show, it's going to be an SGU private show.
Yes.
George playing 7 songs, and
Yes.
then first ever live BBC. It's going to be quite a day.
With Brian Wecht is going to be there in person.
Yep.
It's going to be wonderful.
Kara
It
will
will
be
be.
there.
Yeah, you can go to our events page as well if you want to purchase tickets for any of those things. And that's the show, guys.
Bye.
Everybody
Jay,
have
look.
a wonderful night.
The skeleton
Oh.
butt.
That is a skeleton butt. Well, Bob, enjoy playing with that tonight, and I will
I
see
will.
you. I will see
See you
two of
guys in the
for dinner.
igloo.
Thank you, Newt.
Igloo.
Yes.
Thank you, George.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Newt.
I
Thank
enjoyed
you
it.
guys.
That was
Thanks to
wonderful.
our
Bye, guys.
wonderful
It's fun.
audience, the best audience in
Ian.
all of streaming.
That's right. Thank
Yes.
you.
Have a
This was
good
the
night,
best
Absolutely.
everybody.
audience
Good night.
we've ever had.
Bye-bye.
I think the
Bye, Newt.
It'll play any second now.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
This is where
Secret
all the
show,
flavor
secret
comes
show.
from.
It's the secret show. No one knows about the secret show.
Man.
Secret show.
This is the highlight of my day. Like I knew. I love the secret show.
Did they still
You're
have no
sticking around for
idea?
this.
They
That's
have
all I
no
can do not to
idea.
say something.
They have
man.
no. Right now, the
How
two
did
of
they
them are
know?
like slowly getting out of their chairs and walking away, going downstairs, and we are still here. We're still doing it.
Well, somebody's gonna mess up one day, and you guys are gonna lose this opportunity.
Well, people in the chat have to be very careful because
Yeah.
it's possible that Bob and Steve might see something. But
I saw some self-policing, so as people accidentally said stuff almost too soon.
but I just wanted to remind you guys, this is where all the flavor.
Oh, God.
George, every
It's just
George, I'm telling you, man.
Jay, this is where the flavor.
No. You can get banned.
I know it's
Nice.
weird to think.
Nice.
I guess you would call this controlled spoilage. I don't know. I guess so, but like it never. When you smell this, it just smells a little bit acidic and yeasty,
Yeah.
and that's
Like
exactly
bread.
what it's supposed to smell like. And
But you
nothing-
fixed it because in previous episodes you've been talking about how it just sort of had a water layer. Everything died.
Yeah, that was my first one. That first one, what happened was there was like about
okay.
a quarter inch of like brown water on top. Yeah, it died.
What is the worst smelling thing that actually tastes good?
there's certain cheeses that
Right.
could be very offensive, but I don't like super stinky cheeses.
What's
Yeah.
that Swedish fish thing called?
Oh, man.
Lutefisk.
Yeah, lutefisk.
Have you ever eaten it though? Have you ever actually
Yeah,
tasted it?
it's like it's astringent. You know,
Okay.
it's got like you know how some cheese has that really like
Yeah.
ammonia taste.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
got
yeah,
that
yeah.
thing.
There was a veggie burger I used to make before like veggie burgers got really good, like 20 years ago. This thing used durian fruit, but that tastes really weird too.
Yeah,
You ever-
like
yeah.
cheesy onion.
This bean burger, you would microwave it, and it smelled like dog nose. It was
Yeah.
awful. It was so but it was delicious. It was the weirdest thing. Like you put it in a bun, and like lettuce on it, and it was great. I never could comprehend that. But yeah, I guess cheese are some of the ones that are really weird.
When I made meatless meatballs, you know, we were using Impossible Burger and you know that product. I put a lot of that in the bowl and was mixing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Right?
It smelled off. It
Yeah.
really did. I was concerned because I never had used that much of it before, but apparently the soy has a funky smell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it doesn't
there's the
smell
shark.
right.
Someone just said in Iceland they
Yeah,
have the shark.
it was
that
the
they bury.
surströmming.
They bury the shark,
it was
yeah.
the surströmming, not.
But that's got to
Lutefisk,
taste
I think.
gross though, because I've seen people eat that
I
on
think that's the one that I had.
footage and stuff, and it's like it makes people puke.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, they're gagging that crap down. No one is waiting all year to eat the rotting shark.
I
That's
mean,
been
they
in the
did
ground.
it. They did it with some purpose.
You never know.
I mean, we hang ham like prosciutto. That's pretty gross.
I
in
totally forgot,
theory.
Ian.
No, but that dries.
I mean, it tastes good. Yeah, I
What'd you
know, but
forget?
it's pretty.
I got the first hat sample. Okay,
right.
so my hat
Oh, hey.
has a legit patch that that was a separate item that got sewn onto this. This has been stitched into the hat.
Ooh.
Now in person, my wife and I held them side by side. Let me try that. Hold on.
Yeah, but you spelled skeptics wrong.
Can you put me full screen?
Skeptics with a C. Those
Skeptics.
other guys. Yeah, hold on. Let me. Ooh, there we go.
Okay.
Bump
So
the other guys out. There we go. There we go.
you can see there is a definite difference. I could probably get them to lighten the blue up a little bit to match the other one. I can make them have the border be bigger.
Well, it's
But
gonna
there
fade
is
though.
there is a difference. There definitely is a difference. My question is, is the new hat actually good enough? That's the question. I'm so used to seeing this hat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
to
great.
the people who are gonna buy it.
I mean,
specifically,
it's
chat.
very well
Well,
made.
answer
I
in
mean,
chat,
the
please.
stitching is actually very, very nice. I have another sample coming in a couple of days from a different company. We'll see if that one's better.
What do those run there, Jay? What's that going to be? What's the list on those?
I don't
for-
honestly know, George. I gotta, that hat cost me $100 to get because they have to run one and they have to
Right.
like set up this whole thing about them. We have to charge you, $80 to do the setup fee is such a scam.
Well,
Sure-
we
sure
need
it
the
costs
special
$80.
thread. It's going to be, we have to set
hate
up the
that.
whole die. We have to cut
kind
the
of-
die.
Yeah.
It's kind of mixed with people who like it. They said the hat in your left hand they like better, half of them,
Wait.
and
When
some
you-
people like the
Yeah,
brighter
but
blue.
if you A/B it, it's always going to be a little bit weird. But
Yeah,
if you
the
just,
brighter-
that's the only option.
That's the patch.
That's the patch that has a brighter blue. I can make them
Right.
light. They just didn't match
That's
the
sewn
color
on.
correctly. I can.
Yeah,
I can,
it's just like a little bit.
Is it wider? Does it like bigger?
It-
or is
it
the same?
looks a little
Maybe
bit bigger.
bit. It's basically just, do you want the patch or do you want the printed on?
Yeah, because I could make both. I could definitely do both. The patch is going to cost more.
Yeah, that's also
Pa-
the issue.
patch has much more labor.
What's the back like? Is it a closed back on the hat, on the cap?
It's like
Snap.
a trucker hat.
Yeah, it's just a standard trucker hat.
Oh, so it's a mesh. Okay, all right. Couldn't see the mesh. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
All right.
the blank itself, like the hat blank that I chose, is the best trucker hat out there. I tested, about 30 to be honest with you. Like I just kept ordering, $3
We
samples.
make artisanal trucker hats.
Yeah, that if there is anything
It's the
artisanal
best
in my life,
American trucker hat one can buy.
Yeehaw.
I
God
refuse
damn
to
it.
make anything that is called artisanal with this because the word artisanal is bullshit.
It
It's
is
a
locally
bullshit
exposed,
word.
though, right?
It doesn't mean anything. Let's face it. Artisanal means nothing. It means we are charging you more.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what that word means.
Organic, artisanal, custom,
Free range.
free range.
It was. Free range.
Gluten free.
Oh God.
Gluten free hats. Oh, that's what you should do, Jay. Gluten free hats.
There we go.
Say the hats are
Nice.
gluten free.
I did make a couple of jokes like that. Like, what were we doing? We have stickers on there, and I said you could use it as kinesio tape on your face if you want.
There you go.
Perfect.
George, we got a question for you. Is there any room at the inn in Bethlehem?
No.
No.
Never.
I'm sorry, Nosy Nick.
I keep wanting. The joke is that some Christmas Eve I'm gonna go make a scene at the Hotel Bethlehem because there is the Hotel Bethlehem. It's right down the block from me, and some Christmas Eve I'm gonna go in there and be like, "What do you mean there's no room? What the fuck?" Yeah, and that'll be like funny for the one person that's in there.
Now, do you pronounce it Bethlehem or Bethlehem?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
weird
that's what I
local.
thought.
Yeah, I mean I've been here 33 years, 4 years since college. So yeah, there's a debate whether it's Bethlehem or Bethlehem, but it's not Bethlehem. People say Bethlehem.
No, that's
like
not. There's no
definitely outside.
ham. There's no ham there.
So Bethlehem or even Bedlam, but yeah, Bethlehem.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, guys, I got to go because I do
Me
have
too.
to
Go to that
the
damn igloo.
restaurant. I'm going to thank my secret
igloo dinner.
co-host. Newt, you have formally become a secret guest on the after show.
Secret guest.
Right.
Nice.
It's a very exclusive club, Newt.
Almost a George level.
It is pretty damn
No,
exclusive, man.
you were just recently named regular guest. Yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
not secret
Beyond.
guest, I'll
It's
take
beyond my level. Because you actually know stuff. I just babble bad puns. You have real information
play
people
guitar
can
as well.
use.
He lands apartment buildings.
He
for Christ's
lands
sake,
apartment
okay?
buildings while sounding
Not anymore.
awesome.
it. Back
Yeah,
in the
let's
day.
not
We'll
lose
talk about
full
that
shit.
next time. Yeah, all the Air Force One stuff. We'll talk about that next time.
Oh my gosh, you have Air Force One stories?
Yes, he flew it.
That's
You
the
flew it?
747 I flew.
I'm
Yeah,
learning
so-
this now.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit. Okay, cool. We're talking
You
about
didn't
that
listen
soon.
to the podcast? He doesn't listen to
I
your
never
podcast.
listened to that show. You kidding?
Yeah.
I lived it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got both Obama and Trump and 3 years of Biden before that, before he was president, when he was vice president.
So much to
So
say,
I got
George.
stories for days.
I
Yes.
bet. Okay.
Stories.
Another episode. We'll do it again in like 6 months. We'll have you back on.
Perfect.
We
I'm
will
putting
get into the
questions.
weeds.
I'm putting questions together right now, and we'll have that ready for you. Awesome.
Yeah. I'll
All right,
be
kids.
there. I bought my ticket to the Saturday extravaganza. So I'll see
Oh,
you
Awesome,
there.
fabulous.
brother. All right, I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
boys.
All right,
All right,
Ian's
I'm gonna toggle you
Ian's
off.
Release us in
Release
in
you one at a
random order.
time.
Bye.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Hey, I
Yeah,
survived. I'm last.
You survived.
Thanks.
You're the
That was
last
fun.
one.
No
Anything
snakes
final?
on any plane for all those folks who asked. Everyone was asking if I ever have snakes on my plane, and I do
No,
not.
not once.
Never.
All
Never.
right.
Had not one. They don't get along with the chemtrails. So.
Well, it's over. Underdone. Goodbye.
Underdone.